Hey guys, how you doing? Team Tactics here. Today's video is going to be about my ultimate survival knife, the LMF2 Infantry. Stay tuned. Rightio, let's get straight into it. So we've got the knife here. It is called the LMF2 Infantry. You can get the LMF2 Pro. You can get the one with a green handle and different case style. But this one here is the LMF2 Infantry. Now, first of all, have a look at the knife. It's pretty beefy, pretty weighty knife. Very hardcore. It's made by Gerber, as you can see there. There's a lot of cool features about this knife that we'll dive straight into, but basically this is a 24 ounce knife measuring at 10.59 inches. The blade length itself is about 4.84 inches, and it's a drop point design with serrations at the bottom half of the blade. So the history behind this knife was it was actually designed for aircraft crew. If you've done your research, you already know this. Aircraft crew was, it was designed so that people, those pilots, could cut their way out of a fuselage or cut their way for electrical things. This is a three-quarter tang. So what that means is it's not a full tang. It doesn't go middle all the way to the end. The middle stops about there, which is three-quarter tang. And the reason they have the spacer in between here in the middle pommel, so that when you're cutting through electrical things, if you're touching that middle part of the pommel there, you won't get electrocuted, so you can cut through things with current running through them. That's what it was designed for. It's quite a beefy knife. It was made in Portland, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, USA. They're fairly expensive knives. I got mine for about, I think it was like around about 200 New Zealand dollars. So go figure what that is in US and AU and European and all that. It's got a really hardcore sheath. So this sheath here is it's kind of like a ballistic nylon sheath with like a Kydex kind of feel to it, with a bit of a rubber fire resistant coating. So you can obviously use this as a you can hook it through your belt and use it as a belt carried, and you can have this as the upper thigh attachment to hold in place, or you can put another one in. It comes with two of these clips, and the clips have got like a rubber coating on the back so it doesn't slide up and down. You can chuck this on your MOLLE compatible bags or whatever. It's got MOLLE compatible there, and it's also got a field sharpening system built into the actual sheath. So you unzip this, you can unzip this one too, and it's just got like a little you can see it's like a little tungsten carbide sharpening serrations in there. Put your knife in and you do some strokes out, and it just slightly sharpens it for use in the field if you need to in an emergency or in a pinch. That's the sheath there. Well, like I said, it's a beefy knife. It's got 3 holes in here which are used to lash this to like a long stick to throw as a spear. It's a nylon filled fiberglass handle, and it's fairly comfortable. It's got these 2 kind of like finger stoppers here, just the way the blade's designed, stopping your finger from or your thumb from going past that danger zone of the blade to where you can cut yourself. And it's got fairly good control. The only thing I would say is that when you're holding it like this with the thumb, utilizing the thumb ramp, it does kind of like dig in. The corner parts do dig into your hands. So if you have big hands, this might be a little bit of a annoyance for you. But other than that, it's pretty good. We'll go straight into some of the footage. So the first kind of test I did on this was a bit of like a tip duration test. So I just had a piece of wood, found out there it was a pretty old piece of wood, and so I basically went to work on that piece of wood, just trying to see what damage I could do to the tip of the knife. It's a very thick bladed knife, and as you can see from the multiple multiple stabs at the piece of wood, you know, and then I show the blade at the end, and it's still 100% shape, straight. There's no curves to the blade, warped, no chipping from the tip or anything. So the next test I conducted was the chopping test. So very surprisingly, this acted very well as like a chopping kind of knife. So I went to work on the side of the piece of wood, and yeah, I just hacked away at it, holding it in like a I can't really describe what grip, but you just have it like this, and you kind of just like rest it in your hand, and you can chop away like that, and it does a really good job. Especially that like round part of the blade, because the blade is so thick. I feel that it's really effective in its job at chopping, even though that might not be what it's designed for. It is a survival knife. But yeah, anyway, we move on to the next part, which was shaving. I was just testing how well this blade would shave, and after a bit of trying, it wasn't the best knife, just because of how thick the blade was. It wasn't the best at shaving. I was managed to get some shavings done, and maybe like a feather stick in there if you see that, but you know, overall the shaving was pretty hard. It kind of worked better in my left hand when I was doing feather sticking on the side of the piece of wood. But it's a yeah, the blade meets the bevel is not one-sided, it's ambidextrous, so it goes straight to the middle instead of only to one side. So it's not a determinal left or right-handed knife, it's an ambidextrous knife. However, the serrations do end on the right side, blade facing down. So yeah, after that one, and after doing the feather stick, I had a look at the sharpness of the blade to see how sharp it would by cutting some 550 paracord, and like, it wasn't the best. Like, it's not super razor sharp. It doesn't hold an edge too well, but it's still sharp. I can still chop through that. I can still, you know, bash the hell out of anything and get the job done. Probably not as effectively as some other knives out there, but yeah, well, the blade is made of 420 HC stainless steel. So, you know, it's not really, it's, you know, it's a survival knife. It's not going to keep its edge for very long. That's probably why they included in the sharpener in the sheath. So now that we've gone through those couple of tests, the next test was stone breaking. Now I had a look at the pommel, and yeah, as you can see, I did a bit of a number on it. I'm not sure how well it's going to turn up in the camera. But yeah, this is designed for, I guess, breaking windows and stuff like that, not rocks. But I tried it on rocks anyway, just to see how it would go. It's got a half hammer function on the back there. Absolutely useless. Don't use it as a hammer. You're probably going to cut yourself, and it's not, you know, it's not advised. The pommel it was pretty strong pommel. I haven't had any issues with it disconnecting from the handle, even though some of the issues in the past of other people is that the handle's been the thing that breaks on them, or the hammer, the handle's the weakest part of the knife. But I used the pommel. I broke a stone open, and then I tried it on a couple of other stones and failed miserably, so I didn't include that footage. But yeah, you can break stones, but it's, you know, it's not designed to break stones as far as I could see. So yeah, so after breaking stones, I had a look at the sharpness and the overall look of the blade. And then to kind of finish things off, I went up against like just a live little tree that I found, and I chopped through that no problem. It was pretty easy, pretty effective, kind of survival knife. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. This is my first survival knife. I haven't done many reviews on survival knives. I'm not an expert on them, but I do know I have field tested this before. I did all the videoing. I took this out on camping trips and did some like woodwork projects in the forest, cutting some wood, making some utilities with wood out there in the field environment. And so far, pretty good. If I was to score this out of 10, I'd say this is probably a solid 6, 7 out of 10. Let's go 6.5 out of 10. Just purely on because of the weight and the chopping ability of it, and its versatility and the case and everything. Maybe make this a full tang knife, because I don't know anyone that's going to be cutting through power lines with this anytime soon. So I don't see the reason for you to make for Gerber to make a knife like this available to the public, that has that safety feature of not being able to shock yourself. And I don't know, maybe improve the handle as well. Maybe replace it with a better material. I don't know. The grip on here the grip's fairly good, but as you can probably see, like it's like a really weird diamond circle texture, and that wears out quite quickly with wear and tear on your hands. So that becomes, I imagine, quite slippery. I haven't tested this in the water. Don't particularly want to. And it's got a black oxide coating, but I'm pretty sure that will start to rust as soon as you chip away at that oxide coating. But other than that, that's kind of that video on the LMF2 infantry from Gerber. Overall, pretty good knife, a good kind of starter's knife. Heavy, weighty, and it's pretty big and scary. Is it fit for a survival knife? I'm going to say yes. Just purely because on how versatile and how strong it is. Is it the best survival knife? Definitely not. There's better ones out there. You just got to do your research and watch reviews and see how they go. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have this knife, comment down below if you like it or not, or if there's anything that you've found wrong with the knife that you have. Comment down below. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I try to do as many of these type of videos as much as possible with my job. It's pretty hard because we're going away all the time and doing bits and bobs, so I try to do as much video making and content as possible. Leave a like in the down below to let me know you watched the film and that you like the videos. And yeah, just keep the comments PG rated. Don't be mean. I know there's going to be haters out there, but at the end of the day, comments, I kind of expect them to help, not be all critique. Constructive criticism is the way to go. And you guys, keep safe out there, and we'll see you next time.